So is waterboarding constitutional?
Waterboarding.
Waterboarding. Enhanced interrogation technique. Waterboarding.
Waterboarding is
Waterboarding of drowning.
torture.
Waterboarding.
Enhanced interrogation technique.
Waterboarding does not
Waterboarding.
psychological pain.
Waterboarding.
Waterboarding.
It's sanctioned waterboarding.
Waterboard.
Enhanced interrogation technique.
Waterboarding prosecutions.
Waterboarding.
Like waterboarding.
Legally, it is torture.
Waterboarding.
Practically, it is torture.
Waterboarding. You said
The waterboarding.
the history of water torture.
And whether waterboarding.
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 Waterboarding is waterboarding to be a form of torture.
Waterboarding.
Waterboarding with waterboarding.
Like waterboarding. Waterboarding. You said
Waterboarding.
The waterboarding.
it's a war crime. And
Waterboarding.
the use of water torture by you is
Torture.
Enhanced interrogation technique.
waterboarding by terror. Water torture. Waterboarding. Waterboarding. Waterboarding was the
Waterboarding with waterboarding.
Waterboarding has
Waterboarding.
waterboarding is
Waterboarding.
like waterboarding. Waterboarding. You said
Waterboarding.
The waterboarding. So is waterboarding constitutional?
Waterboarding.
Waterboarding. Enhanced interrogation technique. Waterboarding.
Waterboarding is
Waterboarding of drowning.
torture.
that waterboarding.
Waterboarding.
Enhanced interrogation technique.
Waterboarding does not
Waterboarding.
psychological pain.
Waterboarding.
Waterboarding.
It's sanctioned waterboarding.
Waterboarding.
Enhanced interrogation technique.
Waterboarding prosecutions.
Waterboarding is
Like waterboarding.
Legally, it is torture.
Waterboarding.
Practically, it is torture.
In waterboarding, you said
The waterboarding.
the history of water torture.
Whether waterboarding.
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 Waterboarding is the waterboarding to be a form of torture.
Waterboarding.
waterboarding with waterboarding.
Like waterboarding. In waterboarding, you said
Waterboarding.
The waterboarding.
it's a war crime. And waterboarding. The use of water torture by you is
Torture.
Enhanced interrogation technique.
waterboarding by terror. Water torture. The waterboarding. Waterboarding was the
Waterboarding with waterboarding.
waterboarding has
Waterboarding.
waterboarding is
Waterboarding is
like waterboarding. In waterboarding, you said
Waterboarding.
The waterboarding.
The United States of America does not torture.